What's up, everybody? Welcome to my 2024 studio tour powered by Sweetwater. This is my one exceptionally exciting day that I get to be really nerdy and talk about all the cool stuff we've got going on in this room. Everything I talk about will be listed at colerolland.com/gear. So grab a snack, chill out, and let's get started. Trying to think of like where the best place to start this would be, and I think most people would love to see me just dive right into the guitars. So come on over. We'll come over to my kind of main guitar rack that I have right beside my desk here. As most of you know, I've been playing Kiesel guitars for the last probably 7 to 8 years, and this year was actually the first time in a very long time that I played something different. So I've been playing this Jackson Pro Plus series lately. Really enjoying it. Beautiful build. I'm using this actually tomorrow night on a guitar playthrough of my new song Rust with Dance with the Dead. And we also use this for the music video for Fallen Stars with Megan Nicole that actually will be out at the time of this video being live. So if you haven't seen it, go check that out. Everyone should be pretty familiar with these two by now, but I'll group them together. These were my signature guitars with Kiesel: Midnight, black; Moonlight, white. Very, very proud of what we achieved with these guitars. Very, very proud of the designs. Dude, oh my God. I was looking for this forever. Check this out. This is a lighter. Can you see that on the camera? I found it. Dude, I was looking for this for like 6 months. This is a one of one, in which would have been Starlight. We didn't end up releasing this guitar, but it was modeled after the pink purple burst Kiesel DC that I played in a lot of videos. Most notably Canon Rock. I'm trying to think if there's any original music videos I did. Nothing's coming to mind, but you guys can remind me in the comments. This is definitely the only one they've made because it's the only custom pink purple burst DC with my logo on the 12th fret. This is my one and only 7-string guitar, seen most recently or notably in my original song Only One with Lauren Babick, or in Lost in a Memory with Sophie Lloyd. I've been using this a lot more for original music that has my own vocals on it because of my vocal range, and I just wanted to experiment with some heavier music. So this has been the powerhouse behind those original songs. I do only own one bass, but one bass to rule them all. This is a 5-string custom AB5. I don't know a lot about bass guitars, I'll be completely honest, but it kicks ass. It does everything I need it to do. This was a very special gift from Taylor Guitars. This is a 912 CE Builder's Edition. I've used this on many, many projects now. This is the main guitar that I used for Fallen Stars, and I used it in Little Lies. I've used it as kind of like an auxiliary instrument for a lot of bridges. I've used it in covers. Just an amazing, amazing guitar. Thank you so much to Taylor for sending this over. Very much plays like an electric guitar, by the way. It's just cool. It's got a very low action, really fast feel to it. And this is the secondary guitar rack because there's a lot of guitars in here and there's a lot to talk about. So this is the original design. This is the one that you guys would have seen in the Canon Rock video. So the original design that later became Starlight. What's different about this one is we have the gold Iron Age kill switch on here, and it's got the purple stripes down the back of it. Just a gorgeous build. My first ever custom build. I'm not sure how this is gonna look. It's definitely all fingerprinted up. I actually often have this guitar in drop C or drop B tuning with 12 to 54s on. All of my other guitars are either 9 to 46 or 10 to 46 gauge strings. Mahogany body, maple neck is pretty much the consistent build for most of my guitars, including the signatures. So they definitely feel really dense, feel heavy, but they get the job done. Two different ones I wanna chat about here. These are both Midnights, but both slightly different. So this is the limited run of Midnight that we did in October, November 2020. And then this was the signature guitar prototype. So very similar to the one that I already talked about, but just slightly different, and who doesn't need more guitars? So this last one, I got out of the case for the first time in several years because I felt like I couldn't do a studio tour without talking about this guitar. This is my first one that I ever bought with my own money. I think I bought this guitar in 2008, 2007. Super thin profile, Ibanez S Series Prestige. This is what I played in probably my first 4 to 5 years of YouTube videos before I got my first guitar endorsement or really played anything different. And I actually got a notification from YouTube, probably like within the last week, saying that my channel's 15 years old today. which is insane. This is 3 or 4 logos ago before we got the updated one, but I always kept one of the old picks in this guitar for that exact, you know, just for the memes. While we're over here, I'm just gonna talk about my weird looking chair. I feel like I've been on this ultimate quest for the most ergonomic or comfortable chair and desk setup for so long. And when it comes to playing guitar, I can't have anything that's got arms on it, and I need something that's comfortable to sit on for extended periods of time. This is made by a company called Hog. I think the model is Capisco. So if I'm playing on stream or I'm tracking guitars or anything, this has been my absolute favorite one, but it's different than what I use at my desk. So we'll head over there and I'll show you guys that. So desk-wise, I have the Argosy Halo S, which is kind of like a widened version of the Argosy Halo. A couple of my friends have this same desk, have had nothing but great things to say about it. Not only is the design beautiful, but it's incredibly well engineered and super functional. So for example, one thing that stood out to me is it's got the 2 8U rack bays. You can really customize it to your liking. So I love things that are expandable and modular, things that are kind of future-proofed and can stick around for a long time. The rack bays actually go down nice and deep so that you can tuck all of your power cables back in there, make it look as beautiful and modern as the design of the desk itself. Shout out to Argosy, you guys did an amazing job on this one. And this is a Herman Miller Aeron. This was an A+ Facebook Marketplace find a couple of years ago. If I'm gonna be spending a lot of time either editing, doing admin work, if anything where I'm not playing guitar at the desk, this is the chair. Amazing back support. I sound like I'm in my 30s so hard right now, but trust me guys, like it is very much worth the investment to not have any, you know, back and neck problems. So Herman Miller Aeron and the Argosy Halo, that is my dream team combo in 2024. Let's hop into the tech side of things really quick. There's a few things that I want to highlight here. So this is the Apollo X8P Gen 2 from Universal Audio. They sent this over as a gift, and I've never felt more unworthy of a piece of equipment in my entire life. This is really the heartbeat of my live streams, all of my sessions, my recordings. It is an incredibly powerful device. It really takes, you know, what a standard preamp would do and just gives it so much more power, and it alleviates a lot of load from your computer. Shout out Universal Audio. And to branch off of that as well, I do have the Apollo X4. This is what I used for many, many years before I was fortunate enough to get the X8P. I love having the big master volume knob on the X4, 2 high Z inputs, 2 headphone outs, 4 built-in preamps for microphones, stereo outs, line outs, really anything you would need. Plus it's such a mobile device. You know, if I'm gonna fly out and do writing sessions with people, this is one of my essentials that's going in my backpack. It's coming with me every single time. I've got 1 Furman power conditioner per rack bay. Not only are these critical for surge protecting all of your expensive equipment, but they act as a power strip on the back. And that's another way that I've been able to make this setup hyper clean, hyper protected, and just very professional feeling. On top of my power conditioner on the right-hand side, I've got my holy grail of guitar tones. This is the Axe FX 3. Again, one of those very just vast pieces of hardware that I feel like I'm learning new things about every single day or every single time that I use it. Fractal Audio makes the Axe FX 3. It is almost, you know, an essential piece of gear for any guitar player, producer, bassist, anyone that's got a studio. Just quintessential hardware, just tone beast. Very fortunate to have this gear in my studio. I know we call the X8P the heartbeat of the studio. If I can edit that a little bit and say the Mac Pro works maybe as the brain of the studio, I'm gonna redo this. This is so stupid. I don't know why I'm doing analogies here. As a lifelong Apple user, I love their products a lot. I've also been very hurt by them in the past, as we all have. But I really do love this thing. And I got it specifically because I did want to add live streaming to my kind of, you know, repertoire of things that I do. So the Mac Pro has expandable PCIe slots. This thing is an absolute freaking powerhouse. I can't remember all the specs off the top of my head. I just know that it's good. I used to do a triple monitor setup for a long time, which was fantastic for live streaming. I'd have, you know, my task on the middle monitor, OBS on one, and then, you know, maybe music or notes on the other one. I ended up consolidating that down. I learned a lot from our good friend Cooper about refresh rates and all that good stuff when kind of building a gaming setup this year. This is a 240 hertz refresh, 4K, 45-inch curved monitor. It was crazy, like the first time even loading up Logic to produce a song on a curved monitor of this size. It feels like when you horizontally scroll through the session, it's like wrapping around you and you're like, whoa, dude, this is nuts. And then also I learned recently that you can use an iPad as like an additional monitor. So I thought this would be nice to have, you know, if I'm live streaming or if I'm just doing admin tasks and stuff, maybe I'll have my calendar pulled up, or maybe I'll have like stream chat pulled up, and now I don't need to look off into like weird directions to read things, or maybe I want to use it as like my music control and just open Apple Music on there. Everything in this studio is controlled on Apple HomeKit, so hence why there's so many Apple devices. They all just work together in tandem beautifully. So I remember actually asking some of the members of my Discord server, we do like a little Q&A thing once a month, and I was asking everyone like, what's your favorite piece of gear in your office? And my newest addition to that has actually been the Stream Deck Plus, made by Elgato. This is such a great, not only macro device, but for controlling lights in here, for controlling different mix audio. If you live stream on a regular basis, this thing is a must. I've got a couple different screens here. So whether I have, you know, my productivity stuff open, or I want to control the different lights in here, you know, we can cycle through different colors, presets, all that good stuff. I want to pop open Discord. I want to control some stuff in Smart Home. Why I chose the Stream Deck Plus also is because it has the tactile knobs. And like I mentioned earlier, I love items or pieces of gear that are expandable and modular. So they released a kind of like USB expansion hub for the back of the Stream Deck Plus. So you can add 4 USB-C ports to it, 4 USB-A, and a card reader, which the Mac Pro doesn't come with. So now I've got it built right into that. My choice of mouse and keyboard is the Logitech MX Master Series. This has got to be the most comfortable and efficient mouse. I think it's just a perfect bridge of those two things. I haven't had any wrist pain since switching over to this mouse about 4 or 5 years ago. So a very great purchase. And because I run a hybrid Mac PC setup, the MX keys and the MX Master mouse let me switch between up to 3 desktops. So if I'm working on the Mac, I'm on desktop 1, and I want to switch over to the PC, play some games, desktop 2, that's simple. Moving on to more music equipment, I've had this Native Instruments S88 Complete Control. I'm not like a pro piano player by any means, but I do think it's such a great skill to have for writing and producing music. If I could advise anyone on like the first instrument I would probably pick up if I wanted to write and produce music, it would be acoustic guitar and piano. Those are your, you know, foundational songwriting tools. And then I've got the Akai MPK Mini. I recently got this because sometimes you're just flipping through samples, whether it's on Splice or it's on Contact, and you need something quick to just hear what things sound like before you really dive into the weeds. My 3 main microphones here would be the Neumann TLM 103, my go-to for acoustic guitars. We've got the Shure SM7B, the absolute goated podcast and live stream and Zoom meeting mic. And then we've got the Neumann TLM 193, and this has been my go-to vocal mic. The camera that I use most often is the Canon R6 Mark II. I've got a 16 to 35 2.8 lens on it. Right now it's primarily being used for live streaming, but if we're shooting guitar covers or anything like that, unless I'm hiring out a video team, this is gonna be the go-to camera and lens setup. Also for live streaming, we've got the Elgato key light controlled by the Stream Deck Plus right here. So you can turn it right on. You can change the brightness in here. You can change the color temperature. Just a very nice, efficient setup. And on top of the monitor, I've got the BenQ Screen Bar Pro. I have no idea how to use this. I just got this like 3 days ago.
Why'd you buy it?
I don't know, dude. It looked cool.
Also good for eye strain.
Is it good for eye strain? Should I say that? Should I say that on the video? So I got this BenQ. This is the BenQ Screen Bar Pro. That is really good for mitigating eye strain, and that's why I bought it. I've never been a huge kind of like guitar pedals guy. I know people have really extensive pedal boards, but I've kind of stuck to a lot of the same stuff for the most part. My go-to setup has always been Digitech Whammy, Dunlop Wah. I'm using the Slash Signature series. I've used that for the past several years, and I really love the tone of that. Polytune floor tuner. And then what my normal rig is I'd have the Digitech drop pedal right after that. Really great for when I'm live streaming and I want to play a song that's in a drop tuning, super efficient. Or if I want to do heavier guitar sounds and do like a mixed octave, I actually use that pedal a ton. Brand new as of today, I've got the Universal Audio Anti, and I've been using the amp simulators in that and just getting familiarized about it. I can't really say too much yet, but I'm excited to use it for a demo video tomorrow. When it comes to speakers, I'm not a huge gearhead or know anything crazy, but these are consistent. They've always sounded fantastic. Your classic Yamaha HS8s, and these are the Argosy Spire speaker stands, and I've never really thought about changing them out. I've got the Steam Deck from Valve. I've always really, enjoyed having a Nintendo Switch, but I wanted something with a little more power. Being able to dive into your Steam library on your PC and play it as a handheld device is pretty insane. If I had that when I was a kid, I would have lost my mind. Logitech G was super generous and sent over this A50 headset. I've been playing a lot of Black Ops 6 with my friends on release weekend, so. And then on the controller front, I think it's called the Xbox Elite 2 series, whichever one's got the fancy paddles on the back. But I've really been enjoying that. It's so seamless between my PC setup, or maybe I want to like dock the Steam Deck and put it up on a TV. Everything just Bluetooth, super seamless, and you can swap between devices on that controller really easily. So now we're behind the desk. This is a custom PC build that actually Cooper helped me put together a couple months ago. I felt like so many of my friends have been on Team PC forever, and I just wanted to play some games with my buddies. So I ended up getting this and grabbed a Steam Deck as well, and I've been playing a shitload of Elden Ring. Yeah, let's go over to this, the nerd wall. So this is this cabinet that Arsh and I put together recently to kind of give the studio a little more like personality aside from just being straight, gear everywhere you look. So it's got, some of my most influential records of all time, which would be, starting with Avenged Sevenfold, the White Album. It's got Nickelback, All the Right Reasons. I feel like both of these I can confidently say were very pivotal records to me coming up as a musician, very influential to me. We've got my friend Sophie's album, Imposter Syndrome, in here. She sent that to us, and I was lucky enough to be on one of the songs on that. Track 7, Lost, if you guys want to check that out. It's an awesome record. I had a custom microphone done by my friends at Colorware. They did such a great job on this. This is a very small fraction of my obsessive Yu-Gi-Oh collection. If anyone in the comments wants to see the full thing, maybe we will do the tour of the Yu-Gi-Oh room at some point. But these are the 25th anniversary. I can't do it. And then on the bottom here, my N64, and then all of my favorite games, but had them done up in custom cases. Such an iconic console that I sunk so many hours with my friends in back in the good old days of couch co-op. We also recently put up these kind of like metal movie posters from Displate. I chose stuff from Displate because you can swap it out, as your tastes change. If you want some different art up on the wall, these are all just magnetic. So right now it's my Christopher Nolan wall. Tech side over here really quick. We've got the Astera AX1 tubes. We're using a couple of them for lighting in the studio tour right now. I got these back in 2019, and I think we've used them in like one capacity or another for almost every single video. They are definitely a big purchase, but they're so versatile. They're so useful in tons of visual aspects. We even use them for parties and stuff at our house. Sometimes they just create such a great vibe. So yeah, Astera makes fantastic stuff, and these are the AX1 pixel tubes. This is my Workbench Corner. Honestly, really, really welcomed upgrade to a studio, especially if you're setting up instruments. It's just so nice to have a dedicated space for stuff like this. Dunlop makes some pretty amazing stuff. I've got this mat from them, this guitar neck cradle, so you can have the guitar neck elevated at an angle when you're changing strings or setting it up. And then they make this really cool toolkit that's got pretty much everything that you would need. Like, let's say if you're a guitar tech on the road, this is probably a very bare bones version of that, but it's got everything I need, and it gets the job done. Another cool kind of gadgety thing that I had over here is this electric screwdriver. So not only does it have all your like regular drill bits and stuff, but this is like guitar like tuning peg winder. So you can use that and not have to do tons of manual rotations. Just very efficient way to do it. My latest gadget that I think is cool, but I don't know if anyone else is gonna think is cool, is this USB-C powered little dust fan thing. This is a epic guitar case from Quantum Industries. It holds up to 3 guitars, or up, since this is the bass version, it could do 3 bass guitars as well with the longer necks. But I really need a bigger vehicle to be able to take this thing around. It's such a beast. If I had to take multiple guitars on an airplane or anything, this would be exactly the thing that I would use. Just very, very secure, incredibly well designed. So shout out Quantum Industries for sending this over. And then down here, we've got all these organized Tonic cases for anything from like playback and stuff for video shoots, the Astera CRMX controller to make the lights do all the fancy strobing and stuff, program them to songs, cases for cameras and lenses, wireless packs, all that crazy gear stuff. And Arsh got me this for our anniversary a couple of years ago. And if anybody knows what this is from, we're instantly friends. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but if you know, you know. So as I mentioned earlier in the tour, all of these lights operate on Apple HomeKit. So these are all Philips Hue smart tubes. These have not only been great for creating kind of like cool ambiance in the studio to cultivate a vibe, but I also use them on my Twitch live streams. The viewers can like actually control the vibe and the feel of the room with these smart lights. And all of the kind of pot lights in the ceiling are the same thing. The light strips on the back of the TVs. These are my YouTube plaques. Super proud to have these. I got my 100K, I think was in like 2015, and then I hit my million close to the start of 2020. Super, super grateful to have these. Proudly representing them on the wall. And thank you guys so much for watching my videos for such a long time. Thank you guys so much for watching my 2024 studio tour. Shout out to Sweetwater for sponsoring this video. And remember, everything that I talked about is viewable and organized on colerolland.com/gear. And I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers.